Fallen nature, fallen world. Sharing a fallen nature. There is a human condition that connects us with Adam and Eve, a fallen nature that we share and that we now must endure, and the pride and the stubbornness to go our way without God. In that sense, I guess, we are a part of the same Adamic evolution, because no matter how it all started 6,000 or more years ago, our human iniquity is growing every day in our world. Davos 2020, from Adam to Jesus, Journey Back to Paradise, page 6. Evil corporations, evil institutions, evil politicians, evil elites that rule this world from the shadows are selfishly harming others for their benefit due to their worldly attachments of power, sex, pride, and greed, being orchestrated by Satan and a powerful elite of human demons. Consequently, our evil world has been shaped by our fallen natures. A world full of lies. The great trap of dogma and other people's opinions will silence our inner truth. Ideologies have created many isms over the centuries that have caused mystery, war, suffering, and fear, and still are, now more than ever. Lies are basically at the front of the slavery exerted by the father of lies, Satan. John 8:44. The social media, the internet, TV, and newspapers, fake news, and virtual reality do a great job of masking the truth in such a degree that the only certainty we have in a world now on the verge of civil war is defense for the falsehood and manipulations of the news, through which we are being bombarded 24/7. Davos 2020, from Adam to Jesus, Journey Back to Paradise, pages 9 and 14. In his electronic book, The Mental Warfare from the Second Heaven, Davos 2024 affirmed that Satan works tirelessly to fill us with disinformation, as he is the father of lies. John 8:44. And he does it to distort our perception of reality for his gain, until our perception of reality bears no resemblance with Jesus' perception of reality, so we can live in spiritual blindness. The only way to be protected individually from the disinformation of Satan that comes from the second heaven to our minds is to sanctify our hearts in ourselves. And to sanctify means to set apart. It means, in this case, to make God the focus of one's thoughts, of one's approach to life, of the circumstance that one finds himself in. John W. Rittenball, 1992, Satan, Part 4, BibleTools.org. Preparing our fallen nature, living in a new world. How can this world affect and manipulate our fallen natures in our daily lives? Through sin. Sin in our lives is causally related to our fallen nature in a fallen world that is under the domain and the influence of Satan. The only way for us to live in a new world of our creation is to regain the God-given gifts of original justice we were deprived by the sin of Adam, and that, thanks to Christ's redemption, is now possible. P. Dead, letter 1960, The Reparation of Our Fallen Nature, abstract. At this point, we must believe that grace perfects nature because in his divine incarnation on this earth, the full of grace and truth, Jesus Christ, showed us the supreme possibilities that exist in a human being that achieves communion with his Father in heaven through holiness. A way to achieve holiness and communion with Christ is by reversing our load of spiritual inertia and turning it into sanctifying grace. The Catholic saints have done it, and their lives have showed us through their sanctifying grace that they started gaining the God-given gifts of original justice we were deprived by the sin of Adam. The Catholic saints managed to counteract their spiritual inertia, growing spiritually by surrendering their lives to the will of our Father in heaven at all times, and this is why the Church considers them men and women closer to God. How did they manage to do this? Through their constant building of sanctifying grace. Davalos 2024, Sanctifying Grace and Spiritual Inertia, a Friend and a Foe. In our Search for the Kingdom, pages 4 and 5. Joe Lovino in 2018 in his article Grace Power Over Sin, Sanctifying Grace, maintained that God's sanctifying grace shapes us more and more into the likeness of Christ. Davalos in 2019 affirmed that once we manage to accumulate enough sanctifying grace, we will enter into a state of holiness and nothing will be impossible for us because we will be in permanent contact with the energy of the Holy Spirit, and through this wonderful advisor and protector, we will be in contact with the Son, with the Father. And this is nothing other than the recovery of our spiritual bodies subjugated by the evil one who aims to prevent our liberation from this world. Full of grace, a short reflection of the